Good afternoon, everyone. Remember when Al Gore told us snow would be a thing of the past? Well, there's so much snow in Chamonix France that they couldn't explain it. It was unexplainable, so what did they do? Just revise all the data downwards, so they literally cut the snow totals in half. Let's take a look at what Carlos Ramirez sent me earlier.
He brought it to my attention that World Weather Online has suddenly switched the snow totals in Chamonix. The horizontal red 100 centimeter mark lines, notice the difference on the left side. They decreased the amount of snow in this area. And they've also faked the trend line. And a glimpse into the Maunder minimum, you can see where temperatures dropped and more snow came. And isn't Al Gore the same guy who told us we would never know what snow is? And if the media will lie about this, what else are they lying about? During these uncertain times, you are absolutely going to have to rely on your own skills moving forward. TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on the planet. The Adapt 2030 link is below in the description box, as well as the links to mini Ice Age conversations, tri-weekly podcast, 30-minute segments discussing these same issues of how the grand solar minimum, rising food prices will affect your life moving forward through 2023. So first, a shout out to Carlos Ramirez. He's doing independent study on cosmic ray density. So if you're looking for an alternative count monitor, go to Carlos, subscribe to his Twitter feed, and you can get the latest updates. He sent me a message and said, hey, check out this World Weather Online readjustment of snow totals in Chamonix, France. Now we know in France the last decade has been snowier and snowier with record snows. And this is an example of how they're trying to change the narrative by manipulating data. Left side here, this is June 20th, and a little bit prior, this is what they showed for the snow totals in Chamonix, France. That 100 centimeter mark is what we're looking at. And then suddenly, over in September 24th, the data jumped. Previous years that were showing at least 100 centimeters of snow total, 2009, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, suddenly just disappeared off that record. So now 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 show below 100 centimeters on the right side. And then Carlos reached out to them, writing a note about the snow accumulation data for the last 9 years in Chamonix being readjusted downwards. So he was asking, what's going on? We're talking about 30, which is a foot, up to 140 centimeters of snow, which is a little over 4 feet. That's incredible, the amount of snow they're trying to chop off the record here. And the World Weather Online team answered back and says, from time to time, we go through the weather and adjust and audit due to new findings. Well, what are those findings? They wouldn't explain because it says we do not provide the reasons as to why we adjust the data. We strive to be accurate in the light of new information available to our team. 9 years of data, and suddenly you adjust it downward. What, were the rulers defective? They couldn't measure centimeters or feet? Also, Carlos showing us here the trend line. From 2016 to 2018 was upward in the bottom where you see the wave pattern of troughs and highs compared to the above where they show flat. So again, it's just continuous manipulation to fit the narrative. Why after 9 years would they come and start to adjust the data? Well, maybe because the snow totals have more than doubled since 2011 in Chamonix. I even went to the website to check and see. Sure enough, it has the exact same data. They haven't even changed it, even though they're being called out. And remember Al Gore, he told us snow would be a thing of the past. We'd never know what snow was. Our children would never know what snow was because of global warming. But all he has to think about is just taxing it. CO2 global tax. Thank you, Al. Now, speaking of manipulated media, don't know if you saw the Anderson Cooper footage and all the fake footage during Hurricane Florence to try to make the event seem much wilder and more ferocious than it was. Anderson stepping into a ditch to make water totals look higher than they really are, even though the film crew, you can see, it's barely shin deep there. And then our famous, it's the strongest gust of the storm. And people are walking behind him there, college students, just walking in the wind. And he's pretending like it's an all-out incredible gust getting blown to the ground. They're trying to save the narrative. This is what the temperatures look like and how they dropped in the Maunder minimum. You can start to see more snow would come with this. And what are we seeing right now? More snow coming with this. They don't want to admit it's a cycle. When the Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation, that's the North Atlantic water temperatures, cool, Europe cools. And I'll also show you here, go back to 1880, a little bit left on the chart. You'll see that spike there. The water temperature in the Atlantic was warmer than it ever has been up to today. Very inconvenient fact. Global warming crisis, warm Atlantic water temperatures. Global cooling, cold Atlantic water temperatures. Now we're throwing in a grand solar minimum and Atlantic water temperatures are beginning to cool again. More snow for Europe. Maybe that's what they're trying to hide. Natural cycles, because you can't tax a natural cycle. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. I encourage you to write and call them out for their misdeeds and mistruths and manipulating data.